All right, everyone, that time is now. Let's go into the first run of Multithon 2025 Day 2, the UFO50 Lockout Bingo with Cosmoing and Glove the Glove. Good luck and have fun.
I guess I should go first because I'm alphabetically first. What's up, everybody? I'm Cosmoing.
Thank you, Cosmoing. And also we have alongside Cosmoing Mr. Glove the Glove.
Hi, I'm Glove. Good to be here.
Hello, guys. I am Matt. I will be bringing this to you alongside my friend and companion Python, who was actually responsible for getting Lockout Bingo started with UFO50 in the first place. Welcome, Python.
You're too kind. Hello, I'm Python. I was one of the people who helped develop this bingo. Matt's come on board the team, and I'm here to have a good time.
So real quick rundown, what we're going to do very shortly, we are going to get our runners started with a quick 30-second review period where they'll have a chance to see all of the goals on the board. The objective is to complete as many squares as possible. Normally we would do 5 in a row as an instant win, but for the Multithon and for all our viewers out there, we're going to get this going and play until the time is up or until they fill out the whole board. So we're going to do kind of a blackout style bingo this time. We'll explain a little bit about UFO50 as we get started, but we don't want to delay any further. We want to get this race started. So Cosmoing, Glove, best of luck to both of you. You can both deafen whenever you're ready. They will not be able to hear each other, see each other's screens. It's going to be very suspenseful throughout the whole time. But best of luck to both of you, and thanks so much for doing this with us. Here we go.
Thanks, man. Have fun.
All right. Both of them are deafened. They will be getting a countdown shortly in the bingo chat where I will count them down to a reveal, and then I will count us down verbally 3, 2, 1 when the actual play time begins. So let's get this started. Here we go. And you will see the bingo card in about 3 seconds here. So 3, 2, 1, and then reveal, and they will get a 30-second time where they can reveal and look at the card. They can't play just yet. And when that time is up, they will both begin to view the catalog, and they'll start to pick some games, and we'll go through it. So that time is very short, that 30 seconds to look at the card, and we'll talk about the goals on the card and what both players are doing in just a second. But let's just get them ready to do it. We're already under 10 seconds to go. Here we go. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And they're gonna get started right now.
All right, now you and I had a chance to kind of peep this card beforehand. This is a pretty interesting card, isn't it?
There's a lot of fun synergies here. So if you don't know what UFO50 is, I should tell you that UFO50 is a collection of 50 games. It's a catalog of 50 full, complete games. It's from Mossmouth, but in universe, there's a separate developer that kind of existed back in the 80s and developed all these games, and they were kind of lost to time until they were found in the modern day. So there's a whole swath of genres. You've got action games, strategy games, puzzle games, and you've got the two that are on screen now. So right now, on the left side, Cosmoing is in a game called Mooncat. It's kind of this esoteric platforming game. He's running through that right now. And on the right side, you've got a point-and-click horror game called Night Manor, which Glove is running. And this is a game that Python is very familiar with. Python has held the world record for this game for quite a while.
It has recently been taken from me, but yes, I ran this at SGDQ 2024. Glove making a bit of a crucial mistake there, missing the hook on the killer there. So Night Manor is like a escape room kind of style game with some horror elements where you have to run away from this killer. If he kills you, he resets you to the start, and you're just collecting items trying to get out. It looks like he got what he needed, and he's on his way through.
And ideally, to complete this game on your first run, it'll probably take you a couple hours, but if you already know what to do, this gold run to complete the game takes about 2 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, but it's a very, very fast game to win. Meanwhile, on the left side, in Mooncat, 2 warps, they're secret exits to rooms in Mooncat, which has been completed by Cosmoing, who has now moved into this another kind of esoteric game, Divers, which is very mysterious, quiet, and eerie. You play as these 3 brothers who are all swimming around in the ocean, and he is going to be pursuing a specific chest in the overworld that contains a specific item. This is the goal in the right-hand column. Open the chest containing the parasite hammer. This is also in the game, the gift requirement. So every one of the 50 games allows you to complete a task that awards you a gift. And there's a garden where you have a little buddy and he has all the gifts and he plays with them. Cosmoing is actually the current world record holder for completing all 50 gifts in one sitting. He just broke his own record last week at 3 hours and 45 minutes. So if there are any goals that include the gift requirement, Cosmoing is going to have a big advantage for that, as he is the current world record holder for that category. Meanwhile, Glove is finishing up Night Manor. He's just picked up the motor, which will open the garage, and he's got the key to get the car, so he will be exiting the manor any second now, and we'll get that center column, bottom row, Night Manor gold disc. We also have some general
the
goals.
other Night Manor goal on this card, which is hiding from the killer in 5 different rooms.
Yeah, there are many rooms that you can hide from the killer from, with plants and with furniture and all sorts of stuff. All right, so we've got the Parasite Hammer obtained in Divers. We have got Glove entering the game called Velgris. This is another game that has 2 squares on the card. There is one to clear out of shop stock and one to just beat it. So this game is, I've heard it compared to Downwell, but up, like Upwell. I've heard it compared to Metroid as, like an extended escape sequence. But yeah, this is Alpha. This is Alpha escaping the pit known as Velgris. You have to climb 3 floors to get out of here. There are bats. There are, later on, there's going to be some squids and octopus, and it's great. And you have to try to avoid all that while getting to the end. And meanwhile, there are coins everywhere, and that's why Glove is collecting the coins to clear out the shop at the end of every level. On the left side, Cosmoing has just started Devolition, which is a puzzle game that you are very familiar with.
I would love to talk about Devolition. This is one of my favorite games in the collection. So it's a puzzle game where you're given these pieces. They're the villagers, and you have to clear out all of the devils in the village. And the way you do that is by chaining their explosions together. So each piece has a different kind of pattern that it explodes in, and you can hit other pieces to trigger them. And then you set it off all at once at the end of each round. So there's 10 rounds to finish the game.
And this game actually started as a PC game back in the 90s. It was called Diabolica, and has been adapted now to UFO50 under its new name. This is being played because there is a goal here for Devolition where you have to clear the screen of demons with at least 20 pieces remaining. So if you see that counter on the left of pieces, those are your attack pieces, like the Toad, the Straw Man, all of that. And the objective here is to get all of the demons killed at once and have at least 20 pieces left in your queue. So that takes a few rounds to get set up. It's usually done around round 4 because you get a large refill in round 4, and that's the ideal time to do it. So Glove has been kind of locked on the first floor here. Has not escaped the first floor yet, taking a couple deaths, but this is a very fast game. I do run this game. If you run this quickly and get through without any hiccups, you can finish this game in about 2 minutes. This is a very quick game if you fly through it. This bird, it really is, because everything wants to knock you around and hit you into the spike roller. Yeah, so you don't die to anything that's an enemy, but you do die to the spike roller, and everything wants you dead. That bird that you saw there is, his name is Cavian, and he's got a key. And if you get 3 keys, you can access the secret 4th level. And in UFO50, every game has 2 levels of completion, like 2 tiers of completion. You can beat it and get the gold disc, or you can beat it extra good and get the cherry disc. Like most of the time, that's a 100% requirement, doing something a little extra, finding some hidden collectibles, something like that. So in Velgris, for example, the 3 floors are all you need to get out and get the gold disc. But if you want that cherry disc, you need to unlock the final floor and beat the true final boss. And
speaking of Velgris, looks like a Glove just cleared out the shop and took that square. So now we're at 2-2.
Yes, he has, and he's going to keep going because he wants that gold disc at the end of the third floor. So we're already on floor 2. We've made it out of the first floor, and we're moving on. No actual enemies on this floor, just some exploding bombs, some laser platforms. It's very tactical, and then we're going to be moving into the underwater 3rd level in just a second. Glove has also purchased some upgrades, as Python said, so he's in a much better position going into the end game. He's got some defense. He's got an upgraded recovery rate, so when he gets hit, he won't be stunned for that long. You can pick up another one here. This is looking really good for Glove. Meanwhile, on the Devolition side, we are about to we just saw a reset. We're on round 1, unfortunately.
Ooh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Devolition is not a game you want to be taking losses in. It's very time consuming if you get through multiple rounds and then you end up losing. It's also a game that's really easy to make mistakes in. So it's a bit dicey for bingo, but really hype when you can actually get it to work out for you.
Yeah, and you don't actually see what the chain reaction is going to be. The idea is to set up a bunch of pieces and have them all hit each other, but you have to remember where all those hits are going to happen. So,
and how many times do you put down a piece as your starting piece, and then you change it halfway through, and then you forget what your starting piece was, and then you blow up like half of your board on accident?
Yeah, and you have to look at the board and kind of walk backwards and remember what you were trying to do. Glove has
Glove's
reached
out of
the end.
progress.
You can see that the evil demon princess Charkas has not been defeated, but that's okay. That's a job for another day. Glove moving into Mooncat, which we saw earlier, but it looks like we're doing it for something else this time.
Yeah, interestingly enough, it looks like he was setting up row 5, but now he's pivoting away, maybe trying to bait Cosmo to go for a row 5 square.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier, we have some general goals on the list as well. So these are goals that kind of span the collection and are not specific to a single game. One of them, for example, is to collect 7 gifts. And for example, cosmoing has already got 1 gift because he used 2 warps in Mooncat earlier, which is the gift requirement. So it's possible that Glove could be in Mooncat to just get the gift and then start going for some fast gifts to work towards that goal.
That is true. Cosmo also collected Parasite Hammer and Diver, so I believe he's up to 2.
Yes, he did. Yep, that is also correct. So he's up to 2. And as I mentioned with the cherry discs, where you have these sort of advanced completion, there's a general goal on here to obtain 3 of them. Some of them are very quick, despite being the extra good win. There are some conditions that can be done in under 5 minutes, so we might see a couple of those in this race.
What sort of cherries do you think we might expect to see here?
I think we would certainly see Waldorf's Journey, which is a very fast one. It's one of Glove's favorite games, and it's a very quick one. We may see Mortal 2 from Cosmoing, which is a very fast game if you know the specific route to get to the end quickly. And we'll talk about those as they come up, but there are some good ones. Yes, it looks like Glove is obtaining some gifts. This is what we're doing. Star Wasper is coming up. This is sort of a traditional looking shoot 'em up, vertical scrolling, and the objective here that Glove is going to be trying to do is get a 10x multiplier. He's going to be using the letter blocks that drop down. You want to spell egg, EGG, to increase your multiplier.
There's various other things you can spell in this game to get various other power-ups. You can get little drones to assist you, things like that for screen clears, stuff of that nature. But if you spell something incorrectly, you will lose all of your score multiplier.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit or spell an invalid word like Glove just did, spelling GGE. He's kind of off on the rhythm now. He needs to get back on the eggs. Eggs are a recurring theme in UFO50. They're everywhere. So that's why it's egg. In case you're wondering, there are just eggs everywhere in this game across the collection.
We're likely to see a lot more eggs as we go.
This is Cosmoing also going for a gift requirement, I believe, unless he's also doing the 8x multiplier at the bottom. But you can drop off 10 oppies, which are the little red buddies, and you can get the gift, which you see popped up at the bottom there, and he gets it. Glove, meanwhile, gets the gift in Star Wasper, so that would be his second. And now he will be going into Magic Garden to go for that gift requirement. But it's possible that Cosmoing is going for this 8x multiplier, which requires you to have a lot of potions on the floor and collect, I think, 7 of them. Because each one increases your multiplier by 1, so you want to get up to 8x. This game is sort of a combination of Snake and Pac-Man. You've got a trail that follows you, and you drop them off on these star pads. And by collecting them, you start to generate potions. And when you collect a potion, you can defeat the blue guys, which are like the ghosts in Pac-Man, for example. And you build up score. And if you collect a lot of potions in one go, you can get a lot of score because your multiplier goes up. So that is what I think Cosmoing was going for.
It does appear so. Meanwhile, Glove kind of racing through these gifts, kind of just blitzing the gift goal, where I think Cosmoing is going for a bit of a slower approach to it. So Glove is looking like he's going to snipe this square away.
Glove is going bold. He's going after the world record holder for gifts, and he's going for the gifts. He was actually working on these last night, so I think he's excited to get some gifts tonight. I know he was excited about learning the fast ones last night. This is Ninpek. It's an auto-scrolling sort of run-and-gun game where you play as a ninja. You can double jump, throw ninja stars, and the gift requirement here is to find and eat 3 sandwiches, which, by the way, also contributes to a general goal we have on the board to eat food in 8 games, because there is food all over the collection, so this will be the first one for Glove towards that goal. Both of these players will know that. They'll be tracking their goals on their own. And here it is, Waldorf's Journey. This is what I was talking about. It's a game that I know...
Right.
Glove loves this game. You play as a walrus. You're dreaming the whole time. It's a journey that happens in a dream, and you can fly. You are a flying walrus.
It's hard not to love this game. It's like if Jump King was fun.
It's so charming. It's so charming. There are pigs, there are squids, there are puffins. It's great. Everything about this is great. You can kill the squids with a harpoon. Everything's great about this game. The ending is great too, which I think we'll see when we get to the end, because I think Glove will be looking to complete this game. Kind of getting bullied by a pig. Going down.
Ooh,
Warp Tank is on the screen. Warp Tank is on the screen. This is a great one.
Oh, I love this game. So you might have seen this at SGDQ. Spoody Biscuit ran it. Very, very talented gamer, making it look really easy. This game is hard. It is a puzzle platformer where you are a tank. You can shoot and you can warp. There's no jump, so you can't like go over ledges or jump up one block. You have to go opposite of where you are constantly. As you can see, quite difficult. A lot going on all the time. Dying, not the end of the world.
So we have a message from Glove. He says, "Pig, why?" I should have mentioned, I'm sorry, I will be donating $5 for every terminal message we get from the players. If they communicate to us in some way, that's like they send us a message, so that's $5 from me. I didn't tell them that in advance. I'm just saying if that happens, because that's been a thing that people love to do in our races.
It's been a pretty funny meme. Something crazy happens, you open up the terminal because you can't talk.
So this
Glove flying.
Yeah, some things can happen very quickly in both of these games, but in Warp Tank, we're looking to beat a sector called Healing Sector. You need to beat 3 levels before you can access that, which is what Cosmoing is doing here. The gift requirement in Warp Tank requires you to beat like the first 14 levels or something, 15, 16 levels. So Glove is Cosmoing is very familiar with all of these levels and will be able to cruise through this relatively quickly. Meanwhile, in Waldorf, we have exited. He made it halfway, which is the gift requirement. Pin golf, we're not going to see this very long, but pin golf is awesome because this takes like 3 seconds. But we're going to see a hole-in-one. I hope he does the swag hole-in-one with the fire for the people.
Let's see.
Come on, do it. Oh, he wanted it. There's a way to get a hole-in-one on this hole 100% of the time, but there's a way to do it as well where you can kind of bank the ball and get a fire shot, and it looks very cool. I hope he does it. That's all right. We got the hole-in-one.
Taking the safe one, but that's cool. That's enough of help.
Come on, do it for the people. Yeah, it's a fun game. You bounce the ball.
Turtles up.
Swag, no.
Swag.
Yeah, swag dunk. Yeah, all right. There's another $5. Again, I did not tell them that. So every time Glove does that, I'm getting ping in my wallet. All right, Kick Club. That is the 7th gift for Glove, by the way. He has completed that requirement. No more gifts. This is Kick Club. This is a tough goal that Glove is going to be going for. He's going to back out. All right. I guess so. That was going to be a tough game.
Valid.
I don't get to talk about Kick Club. That's a fun one. It's a sports
Maybe we'll talk about Kick Club later.
Platforming game. I like it a lot. It's fun.
Proudly taking a speech right here, resetting to skip the level open cutscene.
Yeah. And he's going to be moving right to Healing Sector, which is just south of this room. Oh, Camouflage. Here we go. Very charming game. It's a community favorite. This is a great one.
Hey, shout out to Goose, the other person who started creating this bingo alongside me. Also, very, very obsessed with Camouflage. Held the world record for a very long time.
And
gets mad at people who don't know it for bingo.
I think they're like within frames of Spoody right now, isn't it? Like less than a second of the difference
like that,
between the two. Yeah.
Yeah, the speedrun for Camouflage boils down a lot to a series of buffered inputs. There's only a few places where you can't buffer the inputs, so that's where all the time save is.
Glove is currently doing a food rush where he's trying to complete this food objective on the board. So he just got an orange in Camouflage. We're in this game called Combatants to get please. We're in this game called Combatants 15 to get some of these little honeydew drops or whatever you might call them. This counts as a food. We also had a fish in Waldorf, eating the fish as Waldorf counts.
I would say Combatants is a community favorite game. Wouldn't you agree?
I would not, actually. We do. There's a community member who has run weekly rankings every week for the last 26 weeks or so since the game came out, and Combatants is consistently like number 49 or so out of 50. But hey, it has its favorite, its lovers. There are people who are very passionate about Combatants, and I respect it entirely.
And
Cyber
I would
Owls.
say more power to you.
Cyber Owl is on screen on the right. This is chronologically in universe the last game that was ever developed by the company. It is like a combination of various styles. There's all kinds of different games within that game, but we're just there to pick up some dim sum and get out. That is a food item. Meanwhile, Cosmoing has finished his 4 levels in Warp Tank, has beaten Healing Sector, and we're moving on to one of my personal favorites, Campanella 2. Now you might be thinking, what happened to Campanella 1? Well, within this sort of catalog of 50 games, there are shared universes within them. There are franchises, there are characters who make appearances in multiple games. This is the sequel to another game in the collection called Campanella, and This is one of my personal favorites. You fly around, you go into some caves. There's a flying section here. There's a side-scrolling kind of run and gun section. Big fan of this one, but the goal here is to just have 300 coins. So Cosmoing is going to be looking around for some money, trying to kill some enemies to get coins, and trying to get his counter up at the top to 300. On the right, we got Fistel, but not for long.
Yeah.
We're just there to eat some
Not for
fries.
Fistel's cool. You should play it, ideally with a friend, and we're gonna move on from that.
Fistel is just a bare bones beat 'em up. We're just there to beat up some zombies and kick the mayor's butt. That's it. We're seeing the sort of
Zoldath.
Zoldath. You like Link to the Past, do you?
It's a shame we're not going to be seeing too much of this game. Very classic Zelda kind of throwback game.
Yeah.
But we're just here to find some meat.
There are multiple ways to do that. Some enemies drop meat when they're killed. You can find a meat printer that makes it for you. That's what Glove is going to be looking for here. All right, in the Campanella 2 on the left, we've got the coin booster, which will make coins appear more plentiful, make this a little bit quicker for Cosmoing. And all of these are worth 25 each now that we've got the timer on screen. So Cosmoing only has 60 seconds to get to the exit, but as long as that timer's on screen, all of those things that were stars are now money, and that's what Cosmoing is going to be collecting. He's already pretty close to the 300 goal. We're back in Magic Garden.
And, yeah, it looks like we might be going for that Magic Garden goal now.
Magic Garden. Last night in a practice race, Glove was unfortunately cut just short of a different goal where you had to get to 50,000 points, and he actually beat the game because the game ends when you reach 200 saved oppies with 49,000 points. So I think he is looking for some redemption in Magic Garden in another goal here.
Yeah, hey, do you want to quickly shout out our bingo league?
Sure, yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, we have a community-run bingo league. I started it in February. We're coming up on the end of the regular season, just a couple more weeks. It has been a huge success. We have tons of people who cast the matches. There are over 40 people in the league that participate on a weekly basis. There are matches like every night. It has been super hype and people love it. The playoffs are about to start. I'm really excited, and I'm just like so grateful for everyone who's provided support for it, who has casted it, put in resources for it. We have a whole document of resources on how to complete certain goals if you need help, if you want to understand the nuances of certain games. Like, people have just been so willing to give time towards this, and just I love it. I'm so grateful for it. Our community is so great, and if you have any interest in this, I highly recommend, or anything about UFO50, I highly recommend joining the Discord and coming to talk to us. Glove is actually the community admin for UFO50. He runs the community. It's 50games.fans. That's the Discord. 50games.fans. Please come join us. We have bingo, we have speed runs, we have everything. We've got talk about every game. If you want to talk about lore, if you want to talk about secrets, all there. And I love our community. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Really good call.
Yeah, I can't stress this enough. The UFO50 community is one of the greatest communities I've ever been a part of. Just everyone there is so awesome. There's so much to do. Everyone's excited about it all the time. And it's very approachable. There's a lot of games here. There's a lot of information. It's extremely approachable. And we love new people. So come on in.
On the left side of the screen, this game is called Golfaria. It is a golf-themed exploration game where you play as a golf ball, and all your movement is based on strokes. So you're like moving the ball with strokes as if you're an invisible golf club sort of thing. Right now, Cosmoing is doing a relatively difficult goal to obtain a special power-up called the Brakes, which lets you slow your ball down. But this room that Cosmoing is in is known for being really challenging if you don't have a different specific power-up, which he does not have. This is going to be super tight. He has no strokes left, so he's going to have to restart or abandon that. Yeah. That is a really difficult room, that specific room that you just saw Cosmoing in. Very challenging if you don't have one of those power-ups, but there are lineups for it, but it's very hard. All right, Glove is working on that 8x multiplier. Remember I said you need 7 potions? I think we've got it. It looks like 7 potions. This is very nice from Glove. It's got 6, 7, 8 is coming up. Goal accomplished from Glove. Very well done. Nice job, Glove. And he's gonna get right out of there. Nice.
We're on a tied board. This is zooming. This is going so fast.
Glove just took the lead. That was 6-5 now. 6-5 on what I'm saying.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you're right.
And now both players and combatants. Oh my God. Combatants fans, you're eating good tonight. We've got dual combatants. The objective of this game is to defeat the enemy's Queen Anne, which you can see on the right. And you've got things you can do. You can make workers, you can make soldiers, you can ask your ants to follow you when it works, like most of the time. You know, It's exhilarating.
It's great stuff, honestly. Maybe we should
This
have saved
is
it for community shout out for now.
Yeah, I know, right? We were doing, yeah. This is a very procedural, slow game. I mean, this is not a fast game. Thankfully, I say thankfully, sorry. We're only playing the first level here. The objective is to beat this level without shooting. You do have a shot that you can use, like a pellet shot, but the objective here on the bingo is to beat it without using that. So you can do that by meleeing the red ants. They are stronger than you, so you have to sort of strategically work around that disadvantage. But Cosmoing has got this. He's about to get the kill on the red queen, and will claim this square, and that will tie up the board once this ant goes down. And both players will move into something else.
All right, this is unfortunately a decent snipe. Unfortunate for Glove, so to speak, wasting a lot of time in this game.
There really is something for everybody. Somebody's going to love this game, and there are people who do. So if you're one of them, you got it. Oh, now Glove's going to try the golf area goal that I believe that Cosmoing just failed on.
So Cosmoing, correct me if I'm wrong, attempted Demolition earlier and is now returning to it, correct?
Yeah. It's like, I could do this. Yeah. Well, he actually got that goal, the 20 pieces. So.
Oh, correct.
Why have we returned?
Perhaps beat 8 levels in 3 different games. Maybe
we're gonna go to 8. This would not be the choice. This takes a while. It was a tough one. What are we saying?
But however, if you do beat the entire game, getting the cherry in this game is fairly easy. So perhaps setting up for 3 cherries.
Wow, this would not be the pick I would expect from Cosmoing or really anybody.
But maybe working towards 2 squares at once is the idea here. I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, my bad. There are 2 demolition goals on the board. I overlooked. There's a second one. So Cosmoing had finished the first one, which is to beat 3 levels, placing the max pieces. This is the other one. So my bad. I overlooked that.
These goals can be a little wordy. It can be kind of hard to overlook them, or easy to overlook them.
All right, Kick Club. This is Kick Club. Now, this is again sports-themed platformer. You play as a kid with a soccer ball, and that's it. You're just trying to kill sports-themed enemies and eat some food, eat some snacks. The goal here is to have 5 extra lives at once. If you look at the top left of the screen, you see Cosmoing has 2 extra lives. You get one at 10,000, 25, 50, 75, 100. So ideally, you would just get to 50,000 points without dying, and that would get you 5 extra lives at once. But this game is kind of brutal sometimes. These enemies, they're pretty big, and you have to go out of your way to get the ball. It's not easy.
No, this game is notoriously one of the more difficult games in the collection, stumping a lot of people for quite a while.
Oh, nice jump from Glove using the flower to get a jump over. He's gonna hit this. He's gonna try to hit this par bot, which will give him his strokes back. You can see you only have 23 top strokes maximum, and this is gonna give him most of those back. I think only 5, but that will be helpful because now Glove is gonna be moving into the cave to get the breaks, and as we saw, there are some challenges with that. This is a difficult cave because please stop. Oh, shout out to Canvas.
Shout out to Canvas.
Shout out to Canvas. What are we at, $20 now? Oh my god.
Yeah.
25. All right.
Good thing you didn't tell him beforehand.
I know. Jeez. This is peak area gameplay right here. Oh, he's gonna leave. Oh, he didn't get to the board.
Staying in. Okay. This game can be pretty infuriating when you get bounced around like that, and then you end up getting kicked out of the cave, and you end up wasting all these strokes. There's been quite a few rage quits of this game.
And actually, what Glove is attempting to obtain right now is the item that makes this more tolerable. It lets you slow down so you don't just have all your momentum carrying you all over the place.
Put it right behind this room.
Yeah. So ideally, you would have this other power-up called the Blockbuster, which lets you break through those blocks on the left, and it makes this room way easier, but our runners aren't trying to go the slow route. They want to get this done in style and without that power-up.
At this point, I may have opted for the reset at this point if I was Glove.
Ooh! Oh my gosh! I think he's gonna.
Oh!
It's gonna put him all the way back because there's another hole there now.
Wow, that's so evil. So
oh no!
It's not looking like he's gonna get the breaks on this attempt. Probably gonna have to come back or give up on this goal.
That mushroom is just brutalizing him. All right, I think he's gonna try to bank around the mushroom, but there's another one there. Yeah, this is tough. Meanwhile, in Kick Club, we're at the first boss down. If Cosmoing does not die, he only needs about 6,500 points to get to that 50K and get that 5th extra life.
Yep, so he's looking in pretty good shape over there. Meanwhile, Glove on his last few strokes here. Let's see if he can pull it out.
Oh, it looks good. He made it past the hard part. This should be it. I think Glove's gonna get it. Oh,
Into the
all right.
water, into the juice.
You can get some strokes by defeating these bugs, by knocking them into the water. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
All right.
Is it possible at this point?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Surely it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna get knocked around a little bit.
He's gonna need one stroke to line it up, one stroke to get over the flowers, and the last one to get the ball, the power.
Well, Cosmoing looking to finish up the goal in this room. 200 points away.
One more pickup. Got it. There it is. 5 extra lives at once. Woo. That gives Cosmoing the lead, but oh, Glove, what happened? What was that? It looked like he went right. Did he go over it? Oh
He
my
went
god.
right past it, sailed down the wall.
Oh, okay. He's gonna get
He's
it
in a good
now.
spot. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay.
Looks good. Okay.
There we go.
Obtained. Done. Oh. All right.
Making a sweat over here. Oh, what does he have to say? Woo!
That's so hard. I can't stress how difficult that is. That's not easy to do.
Have we explained what the terminal is, by the way?
The terminal, I mean, it has to do with this collection itself being a sort of project that one of the fictional developers was working on, and he built this terminal into it, which allows you to input codes. There are all sorts of codes that give you secrets in games, that can let you access level selects, do some cheats, things like that. But you can also just type whatever you want into it, and that's what our runners have come to do with these messages. Nice hole-in-one from Cosmoing. He's running through pin golf. There's a general goal here to beat 8 levels in 3 games. Already partway through that with Kick Club, as each of those screens counts as a level, and each of these holes counts as a level in pin golf. So, assuming that Cosmoing gets through 8 levels and maybe even the whole game towards getting a cherry disc, we will see 8 levels in this game as well, which I think Glove is also working towards now, as Kick Club is one of the best options to get 8 levels in 3 games. So we might see a little bit of overlap in the 2 players for a minute here. But yeah, pin golf is it's a side-scrolling golf game. You have this ball, you can charge it up and shoot it, and then while it's in the air, you can dunk it 1 time per stroke, and it slams against the ground. If it hits a ramp, it can catch on fire and go really fast, and you got to try to avoid these obstacles. Really fun game. Another actual community favorite. People really like pin golf.
This game set me off. Everything on that course that can just knock the ball around, waste all your time, waste all your strokes. This game's infuriating. I do enjoy it, but I don't think I'll ever play it again if I don't. Outside of a bingo context for enjoyment, I don't know.
Some people aren't going to want to hear that. That's okay.
I'm in the minority on that one, but I saw red when I played this game.
I think a lot of people do. I think it's one of those where you gotta work through the growing pains of it and get through it. Nice shot. Oh, just overshot it, but still gonna get a birdie. The requirement for cherry disc is to just beat the game with a score of 0 or less. So you want to just get at or under par. This is the hole-in-one hole, which Cosmoing nails on the first shot. Very nice. Look, I think he's on great pace. I think he's like -7. I think I saw 7 under.
Yeah, we're
really
probably
good.
gonna be seeing a cherry here.
Our first one, I believe.
Well, we'll see. You may opt to forego the cherry square altogether and just go for faster goals. We'll see.
This definitely works toward it.
It's always a tough decision when you have these cherry squares on the bingo card, whether you finish out the cherry or you just move on to something else. Because a lot of the time they do cost you quite a bit of time.
Well, pin golf is one you can do in about 5 or 6 minutes, so I think Cosmoing at this point with over half the goals done. 14 goals out of 25 have been completed, and we are 30 minutes into the race, so well done to both runners. This is a very good pace.
We may end up blacking out this bingo card underestimate.
Yeah, it could happen. Jeez, unless we get stuck in Zoldath for a while.
Well, you know, these things can happen. Meanwhile, we've got double pin golf on the screen right now. Both players going for that beat 8 levels in 3 different games. So a lot of it, I think, is going to, well, another terminal message for you.
And thrown.
I don't understand that one. Maybe that's an in-joke.
I don't know, but he's costing me money. Yeah, we got the overlap here with both players going for that goal, and after this, I think Cosmoing needs one more game, so we will probably see Campanella, which is the other fast one. All right. This is one of the harder, on the left side of the screen, this is one of the harder levels called Bumper Paradise, and you can see why.
Very nice shot there. I find a lot of the times in pin golf, the answer to hitting these kind of tough shots, most of the time is just hit the ball into the triangles.
Yes, yeah, you're right. The ramps and the triangles are there to help you. They might look confusing, but normally if you just hit it into it like this one here, you ramp it up and it just makes it over. Yep. And there's a way to shoot through this gap and get it. Yeah.
Ooh,
Nice.
very nice.
All right, only a few more holes. There's 3, I believe. There's Chicken, Shrine of Venus, and then Journey's End. So we are coming up on the end of this pin golf run for Cosmoing. Looking very secure to get that cherry. Glove hot on the tail. I don't know if Glove will finish it out, but we'll see.
Another one for you.
Sir.
Nice. What are we up to now?
I think 35. I'm going with 35. I think 7 maybe. Yes. If people are counting, I'll check it later. But it's not. It's a lot. It's not.
Do you mind if I tell people where all that money's going to be going towards?
Absolutely.
Please do. I would love that.
Because on the bright side, at least on top of whatever you're going to donate, we did receive a $10 anonymous donation, and thank you very much to Anonymous, our favorite person in all the charities. They're just there all the time. But just as a reminder for everyone, not only are we aiming for the $5,000 in total for the entire event to name another puppy for Blue Path on top of the 2 puppies that this event has named so far, Thunder and Lightning, but we're running a sweepstakes this week. By donating, you are automatically entered for the chance to win a Steam key for one of the amazing games featured this week. Yesterday's Ricky and Vicky, right now UFO50, and I think the commentators and the Bingo League would agree, you should try for this game. Just Crow Things, Neva, and our sponsor game, Beastie Ball. If you're interested in learning more, you can find more information in the Multithon Discord. So, fear not, your money is going to potentially win you the game you already have, and that's pretty exciting, because then you can give it to someone else, and then you can race them and destroy them, probably, because you sound like you're really good at this.
People in this community are very good at this game. People have put a lot of time in. Both of these guys especially have put hours and hours into this, and like I was saying, Cosmoing, current world record holder, one of these, Glove is the community admin, so both of these guys very passionate about this game, and also very passionate, I think, about the cause here too. So thanks so much for what we're doing here. I did put a plug in on the UFO50 Discord, advising what you were all raising money for, and I hope we get that goal. That's awesome.
It's incredible, and I do want to also reiterate, throw in your donations, a chance to win this game that you're watching right now. You can enjoy all 50 games, you can join our Discord, you can join the Bingo League, Speedrun, there's infinite possibilities. Please do get those donations in, it's for a great cause.
Absolutely. So we got two new games on screen now. This is, on the left, Paint Chase. This is a game that I've heard compared to Splatoon, because you're trying to cover up a bunch of tiles with your car while the enemies try to do the same. And on the right side, Overbold. This stars the same character as Velgris. This is Alpha making her return in a sequel, not a direct sequel, but another game featuring her. And you are in the arena. You are trying to survive waves of enemies while you raise the stakes. In the top left, you can see there's a prize associated with every round, and that is what Glove is trying to do here: survive the rounds and make some money. Both players are on their last game of this 8 levels in 3 games. So Overbold, there are actually only 8 levels in the game, so you'd have to make it to the end to beat it. Oh, maybe not. Was there something else? I thought that was
Bug taking a death and
oh no! And backing out. I'm surprised neither player are doing Campanella, which I think is the fastest version. This is another quick one if you can get through 8 screens in Mooncat. But Cosmoing is pressing onwards in Paint Chase. You just need to get through 5 levels or 8 levels to get through this last one towards that goal. And there are power-ups like the paint gun. There are different enemy types that try to kill you. There are all sorts of things going on. There's 25 total levels, and then there's a final level with a final boss, which we will not be seeing. But I like this game. I think a lot of people don't, but it's not easy. Just like a lot of the games in this collection are not easy, but I think it's fun.
No, there are a lot of games in this collection that are actually quite difficult. You really put your gamer metal to the test. They don't really shy away from making these true to form retro games. So a lot of these are what you might have heard as Nintendo hard back in the day.
Yeah.
A lot of them have things like save files and stuff to kind of make your life a little easier, but for the most part, yeah, these games feel Nintendo hard to me.
Mm-hmm. I saw sort of an explanation someone gave on why Mooncat is so gripping, and I kind of attached to it a little bit. you can't tell from looking at this, but it has a very strange control scheme. Like this game does not control with left and right. You control with both the D-pad and the face buttons, and you have to use them in tandem to go left and right and a jump. It is not a normal platformer. You don't just hold left and go left. That is not how this game works. So what someone said was like, it compares us to the sort of unfamiliarity that people had when they first played like Nintendo games back in the day, where it was all new, the characters were new, it was all foreign, and that's kind of how Mooncat feels. Even if you understand games, it feels like a foreign experience. Like you're not meant to understand everything that's happening in it. There's this weird, like the enemies are weird, the graphics are weird, the music is beautiful, but also kind of like mysterious. And like, what is Mooncat? We don't even know what this thing is. We don't know if this character is the Mooncat. We don't know anything about it. It's very strange, and I think people love that a lot.
I can't help but agree with that. I played through Mooncat, I beat it in my first sitting, and I swear I hated the game for 3/4 of it. But I couldn't stop playing.
Yeah.
There's some weird attraction to this game, and by the end I loved it. It became one of my favorite games in the collection.
Yep, tons of secrets, 3 different endings. Yeah, and it's just it's like a playground. Go find the exits yourself, and just have fun. I think that's sort of an art that I appreciate a lot in games, like where you give the reins over to the player and say you go explore and you find what's out there. And a lot of games in this collection are like that, where you do not get an extensive, tutorial or anything like that. It is just, here it is, go figure it out. These guys are making it look easy because they have all the experience on it, but there are not many games in this collection that have like detailed tutorials and instructions.
Yeah, shout out to some of those games that just, you look at the controls and it just says, move.
Yeah, move. The Mooncat is a prime example. All right, 8 levels in 3 games. That is 10 levels from Glove, and he just beat it out. Which level was cosmoing on? Oh, okay. Maybe that was, he was a little early on that, so it wasn't as close as I thought. But good job from Glove finishing that out. Cosmoing's going to stick around for the 12 levels goal at the center of the board. Has to get through 12 levels, just beat them, that's it. Party House on the right side of the screen. Party House. Party House has consistently, for half the year, I talked about those rankings earlier that we have a community member that does. Party House has consistently been at or near the very top of the list. People love Party House. It is one of the favorites, absolutely.
I think almost every Reddit tier list of UFO50 that I've seen, Party House is an S tier pretty much every single time. If you're not familiar, it's like a deck builder sort of game where your cards in your deck are your party guests that you invite in, that you store in your Rolodex because, classic 80s vibes. Fun fact about Party House, when you get busted by the cops and it shows the cop car, the car that they used in the image was actually not period appropriate, and they changed it in a patch to be period appropriate. This car right here. And there's another terminal message for you.
Please, we're at
wow.
50, yeah.
So,
3 times.
If you have 3 troublemakers in your party, they have a little X on them there, you can see. The cops will come and bust your party. You get no points for that day, no money, no popularity. So you want to avoid that, but you also want to go fast. So you're going to be spamming that door, letting people in, and sometimes you just get 3 wild putties in a row. We all know the feeling.
And then here's 4 hippies, which are the type that cancels out the trouble and no trouble in the house.
And your goal here is to get 4 star guests in a single night in one party. So in this scenario here, we have the genie and the unicorn. 2 strong ones, but also they cost a lot of popularity to add them to your Rolodex. So you're going to be trying to build up that pop and get the house as big as possible using the cash.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah, well said. Two different resources, popularity and cash, trying to generate as much as possible, and then eventually buy some star guests. This goal is to just beat a random scenario. So all Glove has to do is enter another terminal message and just has to beat this. Just has to get 4 star guests in the house, as you said, before the days are up on that blue counter on the right. So it has 14 more parties to throw before time is up.
Hey, Chad, if you got addicted to Party House, what was your random streak? I think I capped out around 11 or 12 before I moved on to other games.
6. 11. Yeah, 6. I think I topped at 6, and I never beat that. There are some people who are really good at this game. They understand the intricacies of this game very, very well, and I'm not one of them.
I have seen 100 streaks posted on Reddit and whatnot. There are people out there who are just maintaining absolutely bonkers streaks. See, we got a 15 in the chat from Uncle Slam. Community member, gotta shout him out. I see 12, 12, 7, -1.
Nice one. Uncle Slam, world record holder in Vanger Cherry, I believe.
Yes, Ranger Cherry. The only other active Vanger runner. I guess I'm not active anymore, but yeah, Slam and me kind of traded that game for a little bit. Yeah, it's a great community member. Had to shout him out.
Here you go, Mortal 2 on the screen. This is one I talked about earlier. So Mortal 2, sequel to the original Mortal, which we have not seen yet, but this game involves 5 different classes with different abilities. They can only use their abilities by dying, and you have 99 total lives to spare as you explore the castle. And the main objective to win is to get to the final room and destroy the sort of boss there. Otherwise, there is a separate goal on the card to collect 10 keys. And there are, I think, was 18 of them, 15 of them? 15 or 14, I think. I'm not very good at this game. But you're trying to collect 10 of them, and there are plenty to find around the castle. Someone will say in the chat, but I think there's 14 or 15 keys total. Cosmoing is, and once you get those keys, you can pretty quickly go beat the game, because the speed run for this game only takes 2 minutes and 19 seconds or something. Like, Red Robot just beat the speed run in this game like literally yesterday, I think, and it's around that right now. So you can very quickly get to the end with the abilities that you have from these characters.
Yeah, it's sort of like a Metroidvania, but it's not like as big as a Metroidvania, and you're meant to kind of find all these things and explore the whole map. If you just know where to go, game's very quick.
All right, we are about 43 and change into the race, so about halfway through. 45 minutes to go, and well over half the board has been cleared. This has been a really good race so far. Really appreciative of the runners putting all the work into this. This has been really good.
Yeah, the work is really showing here. Both runners, both veteran bingo runners at this point, have been around since the beginning, and just doing a great job showcasing so many awesome strats in every game.
Party House is coming to a conclusion soon, only 3 days left, so for better or worse, we've got to come to an end there. I've not seen how many star guests that Glove has.
Uh-oh.
Maybe he'll tell us. Go ahead. One? That implies that he has many and did not draw any of them. If you open the Rolodex there, you can see how many you have, but I'm not sure how many, but it must be at least 4. Jeez.
Using the security guards to make some extra room here. Again, 1 star guest. That's it.
Running out of time, but we'll be able to buy another one here with the final shop, I believe, coming up. Yep, last day.
Unfortunately, this scenario not offering any of the guests who can bring star guests in, like the driver, and not going to be able to finish the scenario. Unfortunate.
He didn't have enough. I was wrong. He did not make enough to get one more. Yeah, he needed one more star guest.
Okay, this looks like an interesting scenario. We've got Leprechaun and Ghost. I see Mascot and Magician in there. Those are great to see. I'm not sure I see a lot of cash generation in this seed. And that tends to be the thing that makes seeds really difficult, is when you don't get that cash generation. We have Spy Master, that can work. I think the ideal one you really want to see is Bartender.
Yeah, Bartender gets you a lot of money very quickly. It feeds off of having those trouble guests and gets you a lot of money. Just like another piece called the Writer feeds off similarly and gets you popularity with the trouble guests.
Oh, so Morses in the chat clarifying, he was off by 1 popularity to pick the last star guest.
Yeah, he was just short. I thought he had enough, did not. So we're trying again. Random scenario number 2. Of the remaining goals, we are kind of running out of very fast goals. There's one here for Porgy, which is an adventure game where you play as a submarine. There's one for Zoldath, which we saw briefly, where you have to collect some treasure map pieces and use the random elements of the world to complete it. We've got this one in Mortal 2. We've got the one in Party House. There's one in Valbrace, which is a dungeon crawler where you run around with sort of, it's like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out style combat, where you have encounters and you go from left to right and you have your weapon and you real-time fight the enemies, but it's an RPG, but it has real-time combat that different weapons, different armors, all that.
Valbrace is one of the most unique games in the whole collection. I really hope we see it.
Mm-hmm. There's also another Night Manor goal. And that one does take a minute. You have to go all around the house and find all the different places you can hide from the killer.
Yeah, so there is a hiding minigame in Night Manor where if you enter certain rooms while you're being chased, you will enter a hiding spot and you have to play a little rhythm game. And if you succeed, the killer will leave you alone. So that goal is going to involve knowing where all those spots are, triggering the killer, running into those rooms, and successfully getting through the little rhythm game, which can actually be pretty difficult. The fastest way through that game, if you're going for speed, is to fail twice immediately, and then it will start moving really fast. If you fail a third time, you die.
Yeah, and then send you back.
I think we're probably not going to be seeing that if I had to guess, but I thought I'd mention it. It's a really risky strat that can be really swag if you pull it off.
Okay, this is going to be the 10th key, I believe, that Cosmoing is going for. Party House in session. If there's anything else for donations, otherwise, we've got a bit of a lull for a second as Cosmoing is going to wrap up Mortal 2 and that goal. Anything you want to plug for the rest of the Thon today? Any donations? Love to hear it.
Oh yeah, we actually got a few. We have a $10 donation from Goose saying, "Good luck racers, sad I couldn't be there today, but I'm loving this super tight race." That's what I love about bingos. They can be tight like this and they're just very exciting. We also have a $10 donation from Canvas. Thank you very much for your donation. And a $10 donation from Mezik, who says, "Hey, happy to donate for a good cause. My largest streak in Party House is only 4, but the game has kept me hooked like crazy." Thank you very much for your support towards Blue Path.
You always streak 4, the cherry is 5, so you're always going to
One away. So close. Just one away from getting that cherry. If you can get 4, you can get 5.
I want to shout out Goose, who just donated there. Goose was supposed to be one of our players today, and unfortunately couldn't make it. Cosmoing, being awesome, has agreed to fill in. Goose was one of the original bingo developers alongside me. Still very active, still putting in a ton of work, a ton of excitement into bingo, and just an awesome community member. Does a lot for the UFO50 scene. So I wanted to give them a proper shout out.
Yeah, they're great. I can't say enough good things about Goose. Thank you for that. Definitely. Also, shout out to Canvas for the $10 donation. Thank you. Sorry, it's been kind of a meme lately to shout out to Canvas. That's not
Shout
just
out to Canvas. Yeah, the UFO50 community is really showing up, and that makes me so happy.
So as I mentioned before, on the left side of the screen, Cosmoing is going for that cherry. He reset to get the full stock of player lives remaining, so you get back to 99, and then you just go through this route, which, if you know it, it's a very fast, takes about 2.5 minutes, and you just wrap it up and you beat the game. So we are already about to enter the final room of the game, which normally under a first-time playthrough might take you a couple hours to even find it, but if you know where it is and you have the tools, you can get right there, and that's what we're seeing here. So Cosmoing about to enter the room and defeat the Dark Hearts of Castle Milpus.
All right, Cosmoing actually sitting on a decent lead right now, about to pick off his 10th square. Well,
Yeah.
Love is sitting on 8 at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're gonna see this second. I think this is the second cherry for Cosmoing, which is Ping Golf. Did you have another one that I missed?
I don't believe so. I think he's gonna need to get a third one.
Yeah, but he did get the 10 keys, which gave him the lead. So it's 9-8. Glove is still working on this random scenario. In bingo, you often see this thing where you get trapped in a game for a while, for whether it's supposed to take a while or not. Sometimes you can just end up in hell for a game, and it's like, come on, I just got to finish this one thing, and you just get stuck there forever, and you retry. So hopefully that does not happen to Glove. Hopefully he's able to clear this out this time and does not have to spend an eternity in Party House. Okay, Bushido Ball. How do you feel about Bushido Ball?
I love Bushido Ball. One of my favorites.
Do you?
We're gonna be cheating a little bit, so
We're gonna be
Bushido Ball,
cheesing.
real quick. Bushido Ball's kind of like Pong, but samurai. Every character's a little different, and you knock the ball back and forth with your various abilities. For the purposes of bingo, you're not necessarily required to stick with the default rule set in the game. You can change it, and you can do that. Normally you're
that's
not
a
allowed to do that. Yeah, so you're not allowed to interfere with serves typically, but we just turn that setting off, and we just win really quickly.
Our boy Yamada coming in with the spear and winning very fairly. Normally this is not allowed, yeah, as you said.
This game, on default rules, this game is quite difficult, actually. It's super fun. I highly recommend checking it out if you haven't. If it really frustrates you and you hate it, you can just do this.
But we will not be seeing legitimate, well, maybe a little bit here, maybe a little bit of legitimate
Ooh, a little
shield
gameplay?
off. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Ooh, all right, there we go. All right. So, yeah, you've seen the little Yamada gameplay. He's got that staff, letting him get that big reach. That's kind of his gimmick. I think Yamada is easily the hardest CPU to fight against. So playing as Yamada, you get a little bit of advantage of not having to play against Yamada.
Glove is down to the final 2 days. So I didn't see how many star guests he's gotten so far. He's got 65, so you can buy another one. Last day, you must have at least 4. There's 2 already. Nice. 3. 1 more, we'll do it. Oh boy, kick out that trouble. Just needs to draw 1 more star guest. Oh, there it is. You can just bring it in. There it is. 4 star guests.
All right.
That character lets you pull in anyone you have. He's going to pull in the star guest. That's it. We're tied up at 9. It's about to be 10-9 when cosmoing finishes up this cherry, but we've got Zoldath on glove screen.
Any Zoldath enjoyers in the chat?
Zoldath, we're going to see the full extent of Zoldath. We have got the gold disc square on the bingo card. We are going to explore Zoldath and hopefully not succumb to Zoldath. So this is an adventure game where you are trying to collect 3 map pieces to leave the planet, and each of them is found in a different way. One of them is through a trade, one of them is just going to be laying on the ground somewhere in the overworld, and the third one is going to be in a dungeon. So to leave, you have to find all 3. You have to use some items to get past various checks that are randomized. All of the enemies are randomized. Different ones do different damage each time. Some of them explode, some of them drop materials, all sorts of things. But I guess not. No, actually no. All right.
Actually. What are we up to? 8? Is that 8 or 9?
This counts as 1 though. Whatever that was, that counted as 1. All right, Cherry obtained 3 discs for cosmoing. Very nice. And he's going to go back into
The
Devilish
classic
to try
Barbuda.
that. Barbuda. This is the first game in the collection.
Yes, taking the death there, I think intentionally. Everybody died to that. We all did, admit it.
It's such a troll. At the very beginning, you just walk into a trap and you died. It's like, welcome to the game. So we have some goals in the pool that are generally spread across several games with a theme. So in this one, it's Treasure Hunter. You're trying to open chests in a few different games. So here, Glove is in this game to open 2 chests, and he will be doing that in a couple other games as well. So in this game, there is literally treasure in the chests. You can find coins, you can find items. Barbuda is a game that can be beaten in like 5 minutes, but it's also a game that can take you an hour or 2 if you've never played it and you just need to explore the castle.
It's kind of like Baby's first La Mulana. It's a very like cryptic, kind of esoteric platformer game. It feels a lot like Metroid 1, like in terms of its physics, but the map structure and all the secrets and such that it has, very reminiscent of La Mulana. So if you're a fan of that, you might want to check out Barbuda.
It was just recently run by Grey Googlich as part of Frost Fatales, and they did a great job. She got a 100% run, and it was great. Collected every item, defeated all of the enemies to get all the rewards. It was great.
Along with that run came a really sick Barbuda shirt from the Yeti.
Yes.
I'm so glad I nabbed that.
Mine will be coming in any day, I think. I got the email that it shipped. An incredible design from one of our community members. Really, really sick. So here we are in Divers to open some more chests. Back in Devilition for that other goal.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Devilition today. I feel like you don't typically see this much Devilition in Bingo.
You don't. It's not one that people go to voluntarily, but it has its fans. It has big fanatics for this game. So you might see it willingly or not if you get someone who's really a big fan. And that's kind of true of a lot of games in this collection. People will find a way to squeeze their favorite games into Bingo if they can find it. So in fact, one of the players on this race right now, Glove, is well reputed for playing a game called Seaside Drive whenever possible, even though it's kind of the slowest game for just about every goal. It's a great game and he loves playing it, so he'll find a way to play it just about every time.
Can't fault him. I would do the same thing. I love Seaside Drive.
There really was legitimately no opportunity to do it in this game, in this card, but I'm sure if it was, he would have found a way. But yes, this Divers is an RPG with traditional turn-based combat. It has that sort of rock, paper, scissors style combat. 3 different elements, or different weapons, items you can pick up. Each of the 3 characters can hold 1 weapon on each hand. And there are chests with various cash, upgrades, things you can find, and you go back to base whenever you want to refill your health and restock and change your equipment. So you explore and you return to base. It's one of those types of games. Similar to Porgy, which is another game on our card here.
Yeah, we're probably going to be seeing relatively soon if I had to guess.
I wonder if they, depending on their, comfort with each game, we'll either see them go into Porgy or into Zoldath, which are very different games, but both having their unique challenges. Those are both the longest goals on the card, to gold disc Zoldath or get 20% completion in Porgy.
Yeah, do you want to talk real quick about how the card actually works, like how we generate these goals and how they're grouped?
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about the hours I spent reorganizing everything and making sure it was fair and correct? I won't, but I assure you that it was done with care. Yeah, each of the games is equally likely to be represented. So there are 50 games in the collection, so we wanted to make sure they all had fair representation on the cards. So our pool is kind of set up in a way that each game is equally likely to be represented in each difficulty. There are loads of goals, dozens of goals. This is just a selection of them. Each card has 5 general goals across the entire collection, things like collect 3 cherry discs, collect a bunch of gifts. All of those may or may not show up on the card depending on what the randomizer picks. And then each card has 2 long goals, or what we would call very hard goals, that take longer than usual to complete. They require more of an investment of time, or they're more difficult. And in this case, it's the Porgy goal and the Planet Zoldath goal. So those just take a little bit longer, but they're usually saved for the end because of that time investment. Hey, we're going to see Valbrace.
Oh, yes. I love this game. It's so much fun. It's really classic kind of dungeon crawler. Reminds me a lot of like Elder Scrolls Arena, like those classic ones. But then you have this like punch out combat where you have to like wait for the enemies to give you an opening, and then you start hitting them. You have a stamina meter. It has RPG elements, so you can level up your health, your stamina, your magic. The magic system is really interesting. You have access to every spell because they're the shapes that you draw, but you don't know them when you start. You have to find them throughout the game. So I could nerd out about Valbrace all day. I'm going to cut it there. This Y-hander in particular is what we're looking for here, which I believe requires you to get to floor 2. There is a specific room, like a special room, where you can hunt for items, and you have a random chance of either getting an item or encountering an enemy, but eventually you will find a weapon called this Vi-hander, which is required for the cherry in Valbrace. We're not going to be going all the way to the end here, but we do have to get to floor 2 to reach that room, and then hopefully the game is nice and gives us this Vi-hander very quickly.
Yeah, because you can search in that room for a while. It's this dark room with a big statue, and it looks very cool, and it's one of a kind. I think it's... When I first reached it, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't collect the Vi-hander, and I kept going, and later found out, hey, I was supposed to pick up this big sword there. Like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think most people restart Valbrace at least once before beating it. So you realize, like, oh, I missed something important.
Well, that's me. I do appreciate what it's trying to do. It's something very unique. I find it very challenging, but it's cool to explore, and the maps are always the same, so you could just look up a map if you wanted to. I think Glove has picked up 4 keys in this run, which is ridiculous because you only need 2, and there are only 3 chests total, so I don't know why Glove has picked up so many keys, maybe just to flex, but he just needs to open 1 more chest in this Waldorf run. And we'll have that treasure hunter square up top. Right. Again, this is the first 2 levels of Valbrace Cosmoing super familiar with, as they're part of the gift route, which Cosmoing has run and has the record for. So gets to the throne. This is the gift requirement in the game, is to get to this throne. So very fast path to get there. And then we'll be proceeding on, as you said, to floor 2 to get that special sword. We are over... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, just say we have 30 minutes left. We're in the last the last third of the race.
Time flies. Yeah, the speedrun for Valbrace is certainly interesting, as it's very mashy every time you move forward. You can move forward again immediately, so you just kind of have to mash through the map. There's random encounters all over the place, so getting through this game quickly is it's an endeavor.
Okay, I gotta say before we continue, Glove is getting the secret 3rd chest here. I love this so much. Yeah, thank you, man. This is great. I think I was the first one to find this chest. That's why he's calling it. Because in the game, in the library, it says you can open up to 3 chests, but there's only ever 2 on the map. And you're like, well, where's the 3rd chest? So we looked for it for days. I couldn't find it. If you use, there's an item you can use called binoculars, where you can look in this room and try to find it. It does not show up on the on the binoculars. It's hidden. You have to just take a leap of faith and go find it. And if you know it's there, it's always there. But the first time you try to find it, it's like, what is over here? And you just send it, and there's a chest there. Oh, I love it. Thank you. That's awesome. 2 chests with the secret chest. I love that. Thank you, Glove.
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
It's awesome. I'm so glad he did that. That made my race. I'm so happy to see that.
I hope you can.
And he gets the goal.
Message just because I've lost count.
I think we're at 9 or 10, which is just. I'll go back and check, but I've already resigned to my fate. That's awesome. All right, Demolition back on screen. We've got Valbrace coming close to an end. I think we're on floor 2 here to get to the special row, the special room. We're running out of goals. There's only 5 goals left. It is 10 to 10. This has been a super close race. We haven't talked too much about the bingo dynamics because there hasn't been really any opportunities for bingos, and it really wouldn't matter in this format anyway. But both players are just cruising on this. With an hour in, they have completed 20 out of 25 goals. That is so impressive.
It's very impressive. So Cosmo here is in that room where we can find this Vihander.
Yes.
Getting a random encounter here again. I feel like there's a minimum amount of encounters before you can find this Vihander. I don't know that for fact, but I feel like that's the case. And if you don't have space in your inventory, the game doesn't give it to you, which is mean. So you have to manage your inventory pretty closely here.
XXX terminal code because Glove had 3 of the X pieces in his inventory. Yep, so once Cosmoing is able to complete this gauntlet of enemies before he finds this Vihander. Oh, it gets a lizard spawn. You do not see that too often in here. That's rare to get a lizard in here. But you just keep searching until you get the sword. We're gonna search again. Search, search, search. Search, green potion, search. I don't want that green potion. Give me this Vihander. Search. Oh my God, he's getting everything. That's nuts. There it is. He's got it. There we go. We can finally leave Northrop Keep and go. Demolition race coming up. All right, well, both players try to do this goal that has been on screen several times, trying to clear the screen with 20 pieces left. We've got under 30 minutes, coming up on 25 minutes. It's a good opportunity for any shout outs or donations right now.
Oh yeah, we have the UFO50 community coming in with the $10 donation from Val1407 who says, shoutouts to the great UFO50 community Discord. So many great people, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. Good luck, runners. Rooting for Glove, my dear friend. We also have a $5 donation from Guri, who says, shoutouts to the Bingo Discord, which is always poppin'. And oh yeah, cross your fingers for a Block Koala Cherry to close out this run.
Yeah,
I wouldn't get your hopes up on that one, but it's great just to see all these names. Everybody showing up from the community. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. And you know what? Pour one out. We didn't see Block Koala today. Sorry. Another real community favorite in Block Koala.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Sakuban block pushing puzzle game. I mean, it's universally loved. What can I say? But we did not see it today. The cherry attempt takes like an hour, I think, right? 50 minutes to an hour. I think Spoody recently routed it. It takes forever.
Yeah, I do want to give Spoody a shout out here. Another member of the bingo team and frankly, probably one of the people who's contributed the most to the strats for bingo, just by speedrunning nearly every game in the collection, and just pushing the speedruns for so many of these games so far. Just such a talented runner.
Yeah, definitely. Also a caster for Bingo League. He just casted a match earlier today. Shout out to Spoody, especially for all the work he does, and also shout out to everyone who has stepped up to cast these games. We started with like 4 or 5 people who stepped up, and then people noticed how it was going. They said, I can try it. And now we have like 10 to 12 people who are regularly casting league matches, and it's so good. People are so good at it. The layouts are sick. The tracking goals has been really cool. People have their different styles and different like methods of casting, and it's just so appreciated. People really are passionate and really want it to look professional and cool. So thank you to everyone who has brought these matches to people. There are loads of people who stream it on Twitch and cast it, and I just thanks so much to everyone who has stepped up to do it. It's been really cool. Both players are moving into round 4, which is where you're going to be looking to do this goal. Cosmoing has way more pieces though, so I would say Cosmoing in a much better place because Glove can only use 7 pieces to get this clear unless he does it in round 5. But
that's simply not going to happen. I've played quite a bit of this game. I don't think I've ever cleared one of these mid rounds with 7 pieces.
Cosmoing should get this with this setup. And then we will only have 3 goals left once this is done. I'm just assuming Cosmoing gets this if he doesn't make a mistake, because you could make a mistake for sure. I mean, like you said earlier, you have to rely on your memory as to where these chain reactions are going to happen. So you can't bank on setting up a good chain if you forget where to start it and forget to miss like one demon in this case. You have to get all of them.
Yeah, so clearing the screen, not actually a requirement in this game. You just have to make sure that the number of villagers is higher or equal to the number of demons left on the screen at the end. So you get an extra villager every time you clear the screen. It's just a nice little bonus, but here we actually have to do it. And we have to do it with a limited number of pieces, making it even more difficult.
So this is kind of a gamble from Cosmoing. He's got this bomb piece, the green flask, set up at the bottom, and he's hoping to get either a toad or a cannon or something to reach it. He doesn't currently have one, so is going to need to get a few lucky draws here. There's a cannon. That's what he's looking for.
All right.
That'll work. He can put it down in the left corner right there. Perfect. Now he just needs to take care of these last 2 up top, and there it is. And I think that might get the job done. He just needs to kill that. Yeah, all right, here we go. We're going to see the chain reaction. Wait for it.
Purple guys, they take 2 hits, killing the villager, but does not matter. Sacrifices have to be made.
He got it done. Very nice from Cosmoing, and Glove was short anyway to not get all of the villagers, but we are done. Aw, yeah. Darn. Can we get a darn? Yeah, darn. Zoldath? Can we get a Zoldath race? Please, can we get a Zoldath race?
We got a Zoldath race.
Yeah. And look, it's possible we're in Zoldath for the rest of the race, because this game can take a while to find everything you need to find, but it can also take like 5 minutes. The world record is like 4 minutes and change. Kind of depends on your. Did Glove get it? Did Glove get a an inescapable first room? I didn't see.
I didn't see either, but I was going to mention here that if Cosmoing wins this race, the match technically would be over if this was a regular lockout bingo.
Yeah,
sitting at 12 points right now.
Yeah, trying to get to majority. In this case, we're going to play it out to the full amount. But yeah, this would be game point normally for 13. But this could take a minute. It could take 15 minutes. Again, world record is like 4.5 minutes, but that required a very lucky seed. And the average completion, I would say, is probably somewhere from like, I don't know, would you say 10 to 25 minutes usually for this game?
Something like that, yeah. The cherry is to beat the game in under 20 minutes. I think a lot of people do that on their first try.
Yeah.
Once you kind of know how the game works.
Yeah, one of the easier ones, again, like you said, once you understand the mechanics. But yeah, we're coming up on 20 minutes left in the race. This has been, I can't stress how good this has been in terms of completion. Like 22 goals down and potentially more to come. We do not see blackouts that often in bingo matches, but this has been just incredibly efficient from both players, and both of them completing a huge amount of goals. So big shout outs to both runners for their performance. Yeah,
this has been just such a great showcase of the bingo. I'll mention it that this bingo is technically still in beta. It's not actually officially on Bingo Sync yet. Working on it, getting there, but just seeing how far it's come in the last just few months, it's incredible. It feels so good to play. The goals have come so far. They're so balanced, and we get just really intense matches so often now.
Yeah, definitely. Cosmoing has already found, he doesn't have, but has found 2 of the pieces, one of them for the trade, and he found the overworld piece. So he knows where he needs to get the pieces from for 2 of them. The 3rd one will be in a dungeon somewhere. I haven't seen any pieces on screen yet for Glove, but he has explored a lot of the map. Both players around 2 minutes in. But big advantage for Cosmoing to even know where the pieces are. That's big, because sometimes you just spend forever trying to find the darn thing. I think looking at this race develop, we could be here for a minute. Anything for the Multithon would be a good time to do it as these players explore, try to find some secrets, try to find some information to get them closer to the map pieces. This would be a great time for whatever's coming up next, or if we have any donations.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to say welcome in Raiders to Multithon 2025. If you're new here and you just kind of wandered into this marathon going, I'm watching bingo, this is cool, will I get more of this? The answer is yes, because Multithon is a speedrunning marathon focused on co-ops, races, relays, or anything that shows the power of teamwork. Our core belief is that we are better and faster together. We did receive a $5 donation from oh boy, I should have read this first. Emeritosis, there we go. Who says, oh, got it, close enough. This UFO50 bingo race has been super awesome. I've always wanted to try streaming and bingo. If it weren't for bingo, I might have never have started. Shout out to the UFO50 community and to Multithon and Blue Path service dogs. That's the same story for me. I discovered speedrunning through Pokemon Crystal Bingo, so this was my foray into it, and I've always thought that bingo is one of the most unique and dynamic parts of the speedrunning, like alt speedrunning, is that
Sure.
a way to say it? Like
Yeah.
a sub-branch of the traditional speedrunning. There you go.
We love
Yeah,
it.
sure,
Yeah,
that works.
That works for me. Yeah, and a huge, oh my gosh, the wall of bricks.
I mean,
Yeah, shout out to Emeritosis Vanilla. She is one of our community members who recently took up streaming for casting these matches, and she's great. She's joined some of our other streamers alongside for casting, and one of our positive, uplifting community members for sure. Thanks for the donation. Awesome.
and just to like touch on, I don't know, the electric kind of feeling of bingo. The reason this bingo exists at all was actually in part due to the Elden Ring bingo from the previous GDQ. I was there, it was exciting, and I thought, you know what, this game should have its own bingo. Why don't we have one? And I kind of pitched the idea, and that's where it all started. So there really is like a mystique about bingo that just makes it's so fun to watch, it's so fun to play, and it's such a cool little subset of the speedrunning community.
And it works so well with UFO50. Like, it
Really does.
It's because you have the ability to jump around. You can different goals in different games. We have these general goals that tie the games together, because that's sort of what UFO50 is. All the games are tied together in a way, and bingo does that too. And it's just really cool. And I said it before, but I can't say enough how much I appreciate all the work that has gone into making this as successful as it's been. And we're always looking for anyone else who wants to come join us and get involved. It's really cool. So thank you to everyone who's contributed. Python, our community, the people who contributed to the resource docs, people who have suggested goals. We have tons of goals that are on the pool that exist because people suggested them. We're like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's add it. So it's been great. Damage boosting through the snail in the dungeon. There's the
Nice,
map.
there it is.
Second one. I didn't see which first one Cosmoing collected, but he definitely knows where all of them are. Now, I don't know if Cosmoing can get out because he has 3 HP and needs at least 4 to get through the snail. Oh no. Because the snail does 3 HP of damage. Oh, can you blow him up? No, not close enough. I think Cosmoing might be in trouble. I don't think Cosmoing can get out. Yeah, you have 3 HP and you can't get out of there. Oh no.
Yeah, that's rough.
That is
Alright, gotta
brutal.
restart. No save in this game.
Oh no, I don't know if those enemies dropped meat, which would give you HP, but that's horrible luck for Cosmoing, because he knew where the last one was, regardless of which one he was waiting on, and could not get it. Oh, those guys are gonna attack.
Edge for glove here.
Cosmoing may get killed here.
Ooh, all right, now take another reset. Not that far in, not a big deal.
All right, the mosquito, which will drop the rare resource. The mosquito spawns when you have meat cooking on one of those acid tiles, and Glove is trying to strategically kill it. There we go. And he will try to pick up that meat for some healing while that snail just freaks out and runs around. Oh no, both players succumbing to Zoldath.
Oh no,
In
everyone's
the closing moments of
Zoldath.
this race. Oh my gosh.
Now, real quick, did you say that cooking meat on the acid causes the mosquito to spawn? Why is there so many weird things about this game that, like, I feel like every time I watch this game, I learn something new?
It's also, I think it's the same mosquito from Rock Island, the same design that are basically the same design of the mosquito
Pretty
that
much,
like
yeah.
chases after you. Yeah, that's why they show up to try to eat that cooked meat. All right, so we've got.
Succumbing again.
Oh no!
unfortunate.
We have seen some tragic Zoldath ends in our bingo races. Some really unfortunate demises.
Both players still sticking his old death. Neither of them want to touch Night Manor. It makes me sad.
That's not even that hard of a goal. I'm sorry.
It's really not.
I'm sorry that your Night Manor is being left in the dust here as we close out the final 15 minutes of the race. I'm sorry. That's fun. We would have gotten to see more of the mansion, see some more of the killer, our boy.
Hey, there's 15 minutes left in this race. And if I was in this race and I was between Night Manor and Porgy, I know what I'd be picking.
Kind of unfortunate we didn't see Porgy or haven't seen it. I don't think we will at this point, probably, but Porgy's a good one.
Great game, but that goal is difficult and Porgy is kind of hard. Pretty large Metroidvania, so as 20% completion requires you to pick up a good amount of stuff.
Pick up some upgrades, some power-ups, some fuel tanks, all that. But yeah, Zoldath can be the kind of game where if you watch it get reset a few times, you're like, I was so close. Why can't I get, and you got to start all over. And because you have to deal with the randomization, you might not get as good a seat.
Oh, not another one.
No mercy shot. Just, you're done. Yeah, damage amounts is also randomized. So you might get an enemy that does a ton of damage. You might get an enemy that only does 1 damage. What do we got, Glove? I must be up to like $70. Whatever, man. Succumb to Zoldath. Unfortunate. But, we have a saying in bingo, and it is never pivot, never surrender. We say that pretty often, and that is what we're seeing here. Nope, never pivot, never surrender. Just keep trying. You'll get it eventually. And I hope we see
seeing Zoldath all the way to the end of this.
I said that 10 minutes ago. I mean, that's
and
the nature of this game.
It's looking pretty true.
It's the nature of this game. It's one of them. So there are a lot of games that we did not see in this race. There are 50 games in UFO50. We didn't see all of them. We saw maybe like a third to a half the collection, maybe, depending on what we saw, maybe even for a couple seconds for gifts. But, I mean, all kinds of games. There are 3 full-fledged RPGs. There are adventure games. There are action games. There's some puzzle games. There's one game that's just straight gambling, where you just bet on, like, what is effectively horse races. There's Seaside Drive, which is a shooter where you're in a car. There are several shmups. There's... the Bug Hunter, we didn't see Bug Hunter, which is one of my personal favorites. It's a strategy game where you try to kill bugs on a grid.
We could nerd out about all the games in the collection pretty much until the end of the race and then some. It's so cool. There really is something for everybody in UFO50. And there's the games in there that you might think, oh, I don't like that genre. I probably won't like that game. And then eventually you get around to it, you play it, you realize, wow, it's actually really fun. You end up finding things you didn't know you would like.
So true. That is so true. For me personally, UFO50 opened up genres that I was not previously like, I wouldn't play this type of game. And then I tried it and I was like, this is actually great. I really like this a lot. Maybe it's just the execution of how they did it, but I really appreciated it. Games like Avianos, which is like a war strategy game, and I never really was into that, and I really like that game. So there's something for everybody. I really can't stress that enough, and I totally agree with you. All right, we are officially at 10 minutes to go, just about. And we've got 1 piece of the treasure map for cosmoing, none for Glove. Cosmoing is already coming up on 5 minutes, so he's probably got a grip on where these pieces are and what he needs to get them. Closing stages of the race. This has been really fun. We've got only a couple goals left, only a few minutes left for this game, but while we have some time, thank you so much to Multithon for having us. This has been a real treat to showcase the game. I'm glad we got a card with a bunch of games on it that we could showcase. I'm glad that Cosmoing and Glove took some time to do this. Again, Glove runs the community himself with some help from others. He's the community admin. Cosmoing is a regular runner, and he's also a caster for the Bingo League, which is still ongoing, and will be coming up on playoffs soon. Python, are you active at all these days? Anything you want to plug for yourself?
I'm not going to plug myself here. I've been a little occupied lately with other things, but I do intend to return to UFO50 in the nearest future. So you'll probably see me around. I think, Matt, it would be a great opportunity for you to name drop some of the fantastic streamers who have been casting some of the Bingo League.
We've got,
give these
for sure.
A follow.
Shout out to Canvas, _. He is one of our streamers. He's been there from the beginning of Bingo, giving us resources. Val1407, another streamer. Amaratosis, who graciously donated. Both Val and Amaratosis provided a donation earlier. Thank you to both. Spooty is another streamer. We have got just so many great ones. I just can't say enough how much I appreciate it. I can't say enough how much I appreciate what Glove does for the community as its admin. Cosmoing is a great ambassador for the game and for speedrunning in general. And just everyone, their passion and their work that they put towards this has been so helpful. So thank you for the whole community. And again, thank you to Multithon for having us and giving us a platform here. Right now, the game's only on PC, but we talk about, it resembles what was a fictional console. So we expect someday it's going to be released on home console. We hope, fingers crossed. But again, thanks guys so much for having us. This has been a real treat.
All right, so Cosmoing working his way through the Zoldath dungeon here. There's the map piece, able to actually get out this time, and just needs one more. I believe it's the trade one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that we could see a very nice completion. All things considered, resets taken into account, this is going to be a pretty quick run if Cosmoing can find the third piece. Getting out of the dungeon with significantly less pain this time.
No, Glove's pretty much just been getting trolled by Zoldath the whole time. Having some pretty rough luck here.
This is kind of a weird screen, just nothing on it except there were crystals that exploded. I saw that out of the corner of my eye. There was a huge explosion, yeah, which usually kills you. Very good that Cosmoing did not die to that. Yeah, Glove is, I agree with what you said, getting kind of trolled by Zoldath here. What else is new? Yeah, this screen again, the wall. Love it.
All right, well, hey, while we have a second here, throw it back to the host. Why don't you tell us something, what's coming up next?
Yeah, please do. We are nearing the finish line. This is the time to do it for sure.
The next run coming up is Yakuza Kiwami 2, the Majima Saga any % easy, with OG Happy Dude, followed by Blood on the Clock Tower, Speed Trouble Brewing. I don't know what that means, but it's being run by the Grimoire, and that scares me because that sounds scary. But we do have a great lineup of games coming through. It actually looks like there is also something I have neglected to tell everyone because I thought this game was yesterday, but there is something that you can do with your donations. And it is for a run coming later this afternoon, Moonstone Island, nice monster collector. It's a monster collector. It's kind of like if Stardew Valley met Pokemon, a super awesome game. Actually, something that I was going to cover myself upon its announcement. But you can name the spirits from what I can see. So if you'd like to be a part of that, make sure when you are donating that you are putting towards any name that you would like to put in your donation comment. We also got a $25 donation from Luster, who said, "I'm glad to see UFO50 getting more recognition, and thank you for the awesome performances, Cosmoing and Glove. Good luck reaching the donation goal." And as an aside, thank you, you two, for bringing so much life to this bingo, because it can be so exciting at times, and you've definitely brought the hype over the limit with this incredibly tense final goal here. So thank you so much for providing all of that excitement to everybody who is new or a veteran to bingo.
Oh, thank you.
We don't have to provide that much excitement. This bingo race has been exciting just on its own.
Yeah, the runners are doing it for us.
Something really funny happened, by the way, that I want to talk about. So, Glove,
while you were giving that really nice read, which is great. By the way, what are we at for the donations overall for the run?
Oh, we have gotten, let me do some math, $86, I think, which is incredible, considering that is bringing us ever closer. We're $4 away from $800. We're $200 away from $1,000. So, you know, hitting a K before the next couple of runs is pretty cool.
Well, as soon as this is over, I'll be clicking my buttons accordingly, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be about like 90 or something, and I'm happy to do it. This has been a really great cause, and that's just awesome, and I can't say enough about the cause, and I hope you reach that goal. While you were giving that great read, I mentioned earlier that Glove's favorite game in the collection, Seaside Drive, was not on this card in any way. And after struggling in Zoldath, Glove did open Seaside Drive for a minute, and I thought we were going to see a true drive off into the sunset. And he gave us a JK and did not play it for real. But we got it on screen. Seaside Drive was there for a moment with us, but not for long. A fleeting
And
moment.
now we get Porgy.
We get Porgy. So we've seen every game on the board, which is awesome. We have seen every game that appeared on the board in some way. And Porgy, Glove is not going to be able to complete this goal with the time remaining, but we do get to see a little bit of Porgy with our little friendly submarine. Porgy is the sub piloted by a scientist who is trying to understand why things are going weird underwater. And there's Lamia, she's a shark who likes to get in your way and is currently blocking the path back to base. So Glove is going to struggle to get up there. But again, Glove is not going to have time to do this. We are under 3 minutes to go, and I really hope that cosmoing is able to wrap this up in that time, because that would be really cool to see this Zoldath goal completed before time's up. Just needs one more piece. This is coming up on the end of the road. It's been great. I hope everyone who tuned in who is not familiar with UFO50 has enjoyed the spread of games that we've seen here. And if you enjoyed Bingo, I'll plug it one more time. 50games.fans is the official Discord, community Discord for UFO50. It's from Mossmouth. The guys who made Derek Yu, Spelunky, known for various other things. Some other developers, Downwell, what's his name? Ojiro Fumoto, that's his name, and he's also involved. There's Eric Circa, Derek Yu, Paul Hubens, and John Perry. All of them contributed to various games in this collection. So thanks to all of them for giving us such an amazing collection. 7 years in the making. This game was announced in 2017 and released in 2014. Glove has been there the whole way, documenting its development and giving the community information. And he's just awesome for doing that. So thank you to Glove and for the devs for giving us such a great game and keeping it updated with fixes and keeping us involved. It's really cool. Meanwhile, Cosmoing has defeated Zoldath. That is it. That is a completed gold disc. And with that, I think we're going to call it. I'm going to go in. There's only a minute left, and I'm going to end the suffering
That sounds
here.
good.
And
That
go,
would be 13 points for Cosmo, so that is a traditional bingo victory.
Yep, we're going to go in and call it right there. With only a minute to go, we won't lay it out any further.
Right when we're going to see Nightmare too.
We were going to see it, but we're going to call it
right.
there. Oh, what a race. And one more for the road. Sure.
One more for the road. Why don't you just?
You know
round it
what?
up to 100
what
all day?
I think is rounding up. I'm gonna round it up to 100, and I'll put that in right after we're done.
Okay.
Welcome back, Glove. Welcome back. And
What's
welcome
up?
back, Cosmoing. What a game! 13-10. Almost the entire board cleared. We saw every game on the board opened at least once. We saw Seaside Drive for a minute. That was cool. Thank you both of you.
For no reason.
That's going to be the end of our race. I'd love to throw it back to the host. I don't know if there's a post game or if you want us to talk about this, but we'll throw it back to you to whatever we need to do next.
Well, first off, I think we should all be congratulating Cosmoing and Glove for an incredible display of skill amongst multiple different games requiring multiple different strategies and considerations and stuff like that. Is there anything you two would like to say before we round out this run?
Yeah, Cosmoing, you first?
Play UFO50.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Glove said it best. I think play UFO50. There's something for everyone in here.
Definitely. And
don't
ample
forget your donations today. Put you in for a chance to win a copy of UFO50. So get those donations in.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're still live, I got to tell you, Glove, I didn't tell you or Cosmoing this in advance, but I figured there would be some terminal code shenanigans, and I said, look, every time there's a terminal message, I'll donate $5. That sounds about right.
No way!
No.
You did him dirty.
Oh my
I was
god!
like, that seems about right. And then there were like 20. So I am going to, shortly after we sign off here, 20. I'll put in, I think it's going to be like around $100 towards the cause, which I'm happy to do. And I'm really glad that we had this race to showcase the game and the bingo format. Both of you were awesome. The race was great. The quality of gameplay was great. Python, man, it's great to have you along again, dude. And I hope we get to see a little bit more of you going forward. You're a bingo legend in the community.
You're one to talk, man.
All right. Thanks, Multithon. We appreciate this so much. I'll throw it back to the host to wrap us up. Thanks, everybody. This was great.